once again, 12 to 15 of these. Less if you're just getting started. Next time we'll add weights.
He can't talk and do it.
I can't.
All right, I'm gonna scoot back for a minute. So if I stand normal, then I stand like this.
Yes.
And when I stand with my core engaged, then it's flat, and this is tight, and this is in. And when you practice it enough, you can walk like that, you can talk like that, you can stand like that.
15 repetitions. 4, Hello, I'm Jim from Hardiness Approach. This is the first in my exercise series that I'm naming Regenerate, Don't Degenerate. I want to start off by acknowledging that this studio where I'm filming is not a great filming studio and not a great exercise studio. It's what I have, and that's a great point that I'm making is gyms can help you. Now, this gym can help you, but a gym like an exercise gym facility can help you. You don't need them. You don't need a special place. You need to move. That's the important factor here, and that's what I'm encouraging you to do. I also recognize that many people are already doing some amount of exercise. That's great. I applaud you. And I encourage you, I cheer for you that you will continue to doing that and expand it, and you're doing great. There are many people who, for one reason or the other, are not, who are mostly sedentary. And it's typically in that group of people where we have a lot of the problems that flow from not exercising. So while exercise and what I'm going to do is applicable to everybody, it's to that group that struggles the most and has the most challenges because of not moving, not exercising, that I'm creating this series. I like to say the no pain, no gain myth is truly a myth. Now I acknowledge, once again, a lot of acknowledgments, a lot of disclosure here. If you haven't been moving, doing a little bit of moving is going to cause some discomfort and some ongoing, what's called delayed onset of muscle soreness. So in the next 72 hours, you're going to feel some soreness. That's normal. If it's extreme, it's the kind of thing you want to go talk to your doctor about. If it's slight, it's to be expected. And I'm sorry for that. It's the way we were created, and it's how it is. But what I can promise you, and this promise applies to not just this situation but anything to do regarding exercise, if you persist at it, then the problems go away, the minor problems. If you have a medical condition, that's not going to go away, but most of the problems are going to go away, those pains, those aches. And you can get to the point that you can add a little bit and you won't really notice the additional soreness that comes because of that. The gains will be so great, so strong, so fantastic that you'll look past and not even be able to acknowledge that you're having some additional pain. But stick with it. It may take you a few weeks. If you do a day here and a day there, it's going to take you a lot longer. But if you're consistent with it, you're going to overcome it. I'm not going to go fast. I'm not going to go extreme. We're going to start off very basic. And what I start with, the simple movements, the simple warm-ups, and they will eventually become warm-ups. At first they're going to be exercises. you'll be able, and you should do these for the rest of your life. The more advanced exercising, some of you will go there, some of you won't. And that's okay. If you stay with the simple basic ones, if it's all you can do for whatever reason, then that's great. That's where you should be. It's going to help you. If you ever progress beyond it, fantastic. If you don't, it's helping you now. Another important principle, you got to move. You got to be moving your body. That's the simple basic truth. Not moving your body is going to cause the soreness and the stiffness. Little story about Rinda. When she was in her early 40s, she was just starting as a nurse. She fell a couple of times on her knees as she was caring for some patients. Both knees, full fall right onto them. She was in physical therapy for quite a while, and what they told her is she was never going to be able to garden. Eventually she'd have trouble walking, etc., etc. She has over the years worked with her legs, done exercises that could strengthen the muscles that are around there, that could help the stability, could help the mobility, and she has gardened a lot. And when she doesn't exercise for a period of time, she starts to feel some of those pains. But when she's doing the exercising, the pains are gone. Can I promise that for everybody in every situation? Absolutely not. But for the vast majority of us, our aches and our pains are a result of us not exercising. Some of it may be exasperated by the additional weight that we're carrying around, and we want to get rid of that, obviously. Now, my exercise is not about weight loss. My exercise is about being healthy, about having your body able to move and do the things that it should. Our hardiness approach dietary guidelines are not about weight loss. Could they help you lose some weight? Perhaps. But what I want to point out to you, 70% of your body weight is water. A large amount of your body weight are your bones, and they need to be denser, they need to be larger. And another large percentage of your body weight is your muscles. And if you have bigger muscles, more muscles, stronger muscles, then they're going to weigh more. And that's going to add to your weight as well. But you need them. What's been shown through many tests, research, is that people with a greater muscle mass live longer. And they're people who are typically living it in comfort and in good health. So these are good things. Now there are other parts of your body, your internal organs, your skin, your epidermis. All of that has weight. We can't get rid of that weight. So losing weight is not a good choice. The majority of your body are things you need. The weight, the majority of your weight is pieces and parts and stuff that you need going on. Now, if you have a big insulin meter around through here, and it may show up in other parts of your body, but if you have that big one around here, that's the one that we're concerned about. And by eating right and exercising frequently, consistently, that's going to get taken care of, and the problems associated with it are going to get taken care of as well. So that's my encouragement to you. So to start with, usually when a personal trainer goes to someone, they discover what their goals are. I don't know what your goals are, and initially I'm not asking you what your goals are, and I'm not telling you create a goal and work towards it. We're going to get there. To begin with, what I want your goal to be is the ability to have moderate exercise for at least 30 minutes, whether that's walking, whether that's the exercises that we're going to be doing here. Do you have to be there today? No. Do you need to be there in 2 weeks? Not necessarily. Should you be working towards that? Absolutely. So while we're exercising, if you get overly fatigued, if you start feeling the pains, whatever it might be that could be telling you, wow, be careful here, be careful. Don't try to do as much as we're doing. Back off, watch yourself. You know your limitations. Now, those of you with conditions, whether it's arthritis or injuries, or high blood pressure, whatever it might be that could limit how much exercise you should do, you and your doctor know what you're capable of doing. Please stay within sight of that. What I'm hoping is that for the vast majority of you who are in those kinds of conditions, as we go forward, you will increase what you can do. And for 90-some% of you, that's going to be true. There's going to be some work with your doctor. That's probably my best advice. I can't hope to address every possibility. I'm going to do some general things to start with. My first two big, well, the first three goals are, the first one obviously, let's be able to exercise for 30 minutes. But the other two have to do with stability and mobility. I want your body posture to be correct. I want you to be able to stand and sit in a way where you're aware of how you're doing it, so that you're not causing some kind of bodily deviation that can lead to imbalances that cause some of the aches and pains and inabilities that you have. And the other one is mobility, and this has to do with range of motion and the 5 basic movement patterns, and we'll get into those. They're common. They have to do with your activities of daily living, but doing them correctly means you're not going to injure yourself. It means that as you're doing them, you'll be more effective with them, and you won't be hurting yourself or putting yourself in a position that you could hurt yourself. We're not going to add resistance onto this for quite a while. Some of you may never progress to resistance. That's going to be a small amount. Most of us are going to progress to where we're doing load-bearing kinds of exercises that are going to encourage our muscle density to increase and encourage our muscle mass to increase. That's way down the road. But as we get there, the changes that you're going to experience are going to alter your life, are going to change your view of what's possible for you in the future. This is all about sustainably living in place where you are, the way you want to live, doing the things that you want to do. Yes, there are going to be some limitations as we all add more years to the count, but you can do more than you believe you can. If I get a little stuffy, I apologize. I'm getting over my cold finally. I am able to do this without sounding horrible and without hurting myself. So without further ado, what we always want to do is to start off with a warm-up. That's important in exercise. Not that we're stretching our muscles, but we're getting them ready to move. And I'm going to start off in a chair. You can do it in a standing up position as well. So if you're able to stand, do that. If you need a chair for assistance to keep you balanced so that you are stable and not falling down, that's fine as well. I suggest you use a chair without arms is preferable. If you're in a wheelchair or some other situation where all you have is the arms, that's fine as well. I'm not going to be able to show every possible adaptation. I'm sorry. I'm going to attempt to do that for many. It's going to be additional videos that are not in the mainstream here of the videos I'm going to be doing. But as I have time, I'm going to show all of the applicable for people with low back pain, for people with arthritis, for people with, well, the list goes on and on. But there are a lot of adaptations that are possible, and I'm going to create videos for that. But to begin with, what I'm showing is really general. Now, when I say work up to 30 minutes, if you can only do 5 seconds, do 5 seconds. Whatever you can do that without causing extreme discomfort. A little bit of discomfort, yes. I don't know how to avoid that, but as time goes forward, that discomfort is going to decrease. So come up to the edge of your chair if you can't. If that's not possible, then adapt these movements to what's possible for you to where you are. And I'm not really doing movements right now. I'm going to start off with just doing some warm-up. So we're going to be picking up our legs as we're walking, and let's swing our arms around. And we're going to do this for enough time that we can get ourselves warmed up. And I just realized I need to set up a clock so I can keep track of how much time I'm doing. It's going to make it tough for me to do a certain number of minutes of anything, so I'm going to have to go on how I'm feeling. Now, having been sick the last almost week now, I am a bit out of shape, and so as a result of that, I can't do as much, so I'm probably going to do less of this, but we want to keep the warm-up going here. Notice I'm not picking my legs up high, I'm just moving them. Those big body movements, very important. And I'm moving my arms, maybe more than you can move yours. That's fine. Move as far as you can without causing yourself pain. You don't have to mimic my motions exactly, but keep yourself moving some. And if you get to the point that you are too tired, that's fine, stop. Now, as far as this 30 minutes of exercise, you may have to do it in 3 10-minute blocks. If that's possible for you, spread those out during the day and do them that way. Each time, remember to do some warm-up. You may not have to do as much if you're not doing as long of exercise routine. We're trying to get started here. We're trying to get the habits going. That's what's important. If all you ever do is what I'm doing here right now and you never get past this, hooray for you. That's a great start. That's where you need to be. And don't feel bad. Don't feel like, oh man, I just can't do anything, so I'm not going to do anything. Please don't do that. Do what you can. Whatever that might be, do what you can. That's the important factor here. So we're going to call that enough for right now. So we want to start off, we're going to go top to bottom, and by doing that we kind of are able to address all of our different body areas and the potential joints and muscles that are involved. So it's kind of a full body type of activity. I'm pausing just a little bit to let my heart catch back up. This is a good idea, so I'm talking in between. When we get better at this, we'll decrease the amount of time between things that we're doing, between exercises that we're doing. But at first, we'll keep them a little bit longer. That allows us to kind of recuperate. We're still warm, we're still doing great, but we want to get our air back to us. And that's important. So I don't want to push things too far, too fast. But if I ever go faster than you're capable of keeping up with, hit the pause button and it'll resume for you when you're ready. Go at your pace. Don't think you have to go at everybody else's pace. You got to make this work for you. So don't ever let me run away from you. Use the pause button. That's the beauty of this. If you're watching it live, when I start doing live, and I was hoping to do live, but I'm not quite ready for that. So I'm going to get this posted and get myself set up for doing live. But I felt like it was I knew it was better now that I'm physically there, that I can actually start going to get started instead of doing it totally right to get it started going. And here's the gorgeous Rinda.
Who just got out of the shower.
Just got out of the shower.
I heard you going down here.
I'm going. Now, I'm not live.
That's
so,
okay.
But
you're live to me.
Yeah. We got to get started somehow. And so, here it is, the 4th, right? We're just getting started.
It is. That's okay.
I'm
you
4
just told
days
them
late.
all to not beat themselves up.
Yes.
You don't beat yourself up either.
Yep. No, it does us no good.